Yeah, I mean, we're getting a Mandalorian documentary, and I'll take that. You know.
In the trailer, there's all the information from behind the scenes I already know, and I assume the actual thing's going to be longer than the trailer. So it's probably going to contain a lot of things I don't know about.
It's 8 episodes.
Oh, it's gonna, yeah. Oh,
Did you see the?
I love documentary content.
I love them. Did you see the this giant screen thing?
No, what?
Oh, what's making Mandalorian so like famous from a tech perspective. They have a new alternative to a green screen that's more immersive for actors, and it's stunning. Yeah,
I don't
it's
know what that
stunning.
is, but it sounds cool.
So they filmed most of the Mandalorian inside,
Huh.
which is crazy, and it's because of this tech. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the Mandalorian and Disney Plus. We are here to talk about DC. So hello everyone, and welcome to the 38th episode of the Fans of DC Universe podcast, the only DC podcast for the fans by the fans, and the best source for all DC Universe news and discussion on everything DCU. Joining us this week, we have the wonderful TornadoSoup.
Hello.
And we have AwesomeSquid.
Hi.
And we have the fantabulous Nathan.Payson, me, your host. Anyway, so this week we'll be discussing Harley Quinn episode 5, DCU's rewards program moving to open beta, and more. So without further ado, let's talk about what's coming to DCU shops, or DCU this week. This week we have Adventures of the Super Sons number 10, that's a great comic. Batman number 70, that's a pretty good comic. Although,
no, it's not.
Okay, ignoring that comment. Batman Teenage, it's the end. Okay, number
comic.
70 is the end of the like first issue after Nightmares. So it has redeeming qualities. And Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, number 1. Also, we have Deceased number 1. Oh my god, I can't believe we actually got Deceased. Can you talk about how crazy that is?
Into another frying pan. Deceased was always one of those things that was like sort of up in the air. I could see us getting it, but I wouldn't like banged on it. It's.
I
cool
mean, it's trade sold bonkers, and it's like off canon.
No, Batman number 70 is like the Fallen. It's the one where he's like in the freaking like with the and like the ninjas and God, just stop it. It's a bad issue. Don't read it. I bought it.
And then Deathstroke number 43, Female Furies number 4, Green Lantern number 7, Harley Quinn number 61, Justice League number 23, Year of the Villain number 1. To be clear, that's the free comic book day comic. Not that we're getting a free comic book day, which would have been yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, that's.
Yeah. We were gonna get our first look at 5G and everything. Oh.
To be honest, it probably would have been delayed anyways, because I don't think they have any idea what the heck.
Well, no. Here's what it was gonna be. It was gonna be Generation Zero, which of course was what happened with Wally, right? It was supposed to be the big like Wally creates a new timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was already pretty confirmed. It was supposed to have for death metal.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to.
For that. I'm interested in death metal.
Yeah, and then it was supposed to have the Wonder Woman, which obviously was just a reprint, but
no, I think they dropped the Wonder Woman thing. I think originally it was supposed to have
they dropped it for death metal. Yeah.
But then they replaced it with the death metal.
We're gonna have a death metal teaser.
I want a death metal teaser. I feel like DC definitely has no idea what's happening with 5G.
And I don't think any comics company has their shit together right now, though. So.
Well, what's happening over at Marvel? You read them, right?
At Marvel right now. Well, X-Men has their shit together, but they're about to kick off their like 12th yearly event with like even more tie-ins than like ever before, as they always do. And
this is honestly getting a bit exhausting. I think.
Oh my god, it's been exhausting.
Like, I mean, like the bold new direction they're taking X-Men is cool and all, but at some point it just gets kind of tiring if there's that much.
Like X-Men's not the problem; it's the big summer event that's everything else. Empire, whatever, with like Hulkling becoming like the like hero, like the king of both the Shi'ar and the Skrull empires.
Hulkling is
not the Shi'ar; it's the Skrull and the Kree empires, and Hulkling, who's half Kree,
half.
No, the Skrull.
Oh, Skrull.
Yeah, and Kree empires. He's becoming the king of both. together, and he's declared that.
Huh. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I didn't hear anything for like a full minute.
No, stupid internet. Okay, so the Skrull and Kree empires are teaming up. Are you lying to me?
No, I'm not. I just think it's funny that you instantly jump into explaining all over again. Because if this is all recorded, then they're going to have to listen through a second explanation. But please give it to me. I'm interested.
I don't know which side gets the recording, so I don't know. But anyway, the Skrull and Kree
I
empires
assume it's
team.
you.
I don't know. It's Craig, so who knows?
Does it just sort of like film the whole like who does it? Oh, that's weird.
I don't know. I think it
We
gets
should.
whatever. So, like, if I'm disconnected and I'm talking, it doesn't get me. Because it gets, like,
Well, yeah,
whatever it would hear from, like, a normal channel. Now, I don't know if you were heard or not, or if I was the one who wasn't
yeah,
being heard.
but was it you who got disconnected?
I don't know.
Or was it me who got disconnected, meaning that I couldn't hear anybody?
Anyway, Skrull and Kree empires team up with Hulkling, and they're attempting to defeat Earth once and for all. Who is apparently the bad guy now, but Hulkling's like an iconic young Avengers member, so none of this makes any sense
I've never
whatsoever.
heard of Hulkling before.
Okay, he's a gay hero with who's always dating Wiccan.
I assume he's associated with the Hulk
He
somehow.
looks a little like the Hulk, but he's half Kree, half Skrull, so he's nothing like the Hulk.
Why is he
It's
called Hulkling
confusing
then?
Well,
because he
he's
looks sort of
green
like
and he's kind of strong.
So they're just
Like,
hey, you're kind of like that other superhero.
yeah.
just like Wiccan used to be called Asgardian and was supposed to be the young Thor, and like Kate Bishop was the young Hawkeye. They were trying to do the Teen Titans with all their sidekicks, but they realized none of the Marvel heroes had sidekicks. They had to make up a bunch real quick.
Of course, now these characters are great. But so the Korean Skrull Empire is attacking Earth. Earth is trying to attack Korean Skrull. Earth's trying to protect itself, and so everyone goes to space. And of course, there are literally 70 tie-ins, like per month. Yeah. And then the X-Men are kind of by themselves, except for the X-Men Empire tie-in, which is 4 issues, with each issue being created by someone different.
Is it going to have more to do with Empire or more to do with X-Men?
No one knows. We know Hickman's doing the first one.
I feel like it's
Then
probably going to be the latter based on just
and
Hickman's
then
style.
the person then what's no, I can't think of my names. Whoever is writing Marauders, Jerry Duggan is doing the second. And then I don't remember who's doing the third. And I think the fourth is Rod Reese. Or no, it's Ed Brisson who's doing New Mutants. So it's like the basically sort of the big tentpole releases of the X-Men series right now are each doing like their own part of the tie-in. Now that could mean a couple different things. One, it's like 4 short stories that like build on like that are connected to like their titles. 2, it's one shared story that's like been planned out. Or 3, it's just completely like BS, like filler. I don't know. Now, because it's Jonathan Hickman, and Hickman just set up this massive element of the X-Men and their cosmic power, I would like to think that, basically, spoiler alert, I'm sorry, Donnell, you'll get over this.
I'm
Or
not going to
actually,
listen. I'm not going to listen
just
because
skip
I don't
20
want to
seconds
see it.
ahead. Yeah, okay. Spoiler alert, the X-Men now control the entirety of the Brood. Okay, spoilers done. So yeah, the X-Men are in a big position of power, and we'll see what happens. You there?
Are the spoilers over now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. I feel like no one actually listened to that because they all skipped. But so I definitely think it could be super impactful. And the teaser to the solicit is that the X-Men are siding against Earth. Now, of course, solicits never tell the full truth, so I don't know what to believe there. Anyway, back to these. So Marvel does not have their shit together. The only way they have their shit together is that they're taking a lot of big risk because they want to create good content. And a lot of their content individually has been solid, but every single 11
We need
issues.
stuff for the movies.
I know, but every 11 issues with each of the series, they have to take a 3-issue pause to write a tie-in set. It's so annoying.
You can't have this many.
No,
events.
it's insane.
Events are fun and cool, but events stop to feel special. Stop feeling special if you have too many of them and if they're too close together.
That's why people get excited for DC's events. Well, Year of the Villain was a mess, but people were still excited for it.
Well, you see, Year of the Villain was one of the big problems of the event with events because 1, it wasn't meant to be an event, and they sort of forced it to be one. 2, it happened over an extended period of time. By the end of it, I was just exhausted. None of the books were good. If you hate the event, then you hate all of it. Because
there's a couple series that did a good job with it. Some people really like Supergirl.
Justice League.
Justice League was great, but that was sort of the exception, and that was also the comic that was supposed to be.
I absolutely love Justice League, but I feel like the Year of the Villain stuff caused steam.
No, I think it brought it to the big ultimate climax. It just only lost steam in the sense that there's so much chaos and stuff going on that every issue that just felt like you needed to read the whole thing together.
All the other arcs were small.
Well, yeah, I don't know. It was a 9-part arc plus a 3-part prologue.
So that's a full year just with the Year of the Villain tie. And now a lot of that.
No, it's not a full year. It was double shipped. It was double shipped.
Oh, that's
so it was 4 months, which is the length of Year of the Villain.
It felt like a full year.
Year of the Villain was really
a long time.
Well, okay, so here's what happened. Year of the Villain #1, which is what's coming out. I think I'm gonna try to navigate Year of the Villain with new to DCU. I think I'm gonna try. It's gonna be a mess, but we're gonna try. I think. But Year of the Villain came out in May, and then the first Year of the Villain comics started in June, with 2-issue mini stories, which all ended with the exact same thing of Lex Luthor saying, "I have an offer for you," and without saying what the offer was. And then all the July
writers
comics
hadn't decided yet, and they needed a week to think it up.
Yeah, and the offer was to a villain, so we found out who the villain was that Lex Luthor was offering something to. Except in the weird case where Superman, where the villain was Lois Lane, and then none of that ever came through.
None of the Year of the Villain stuff. But you see, the problem was
the Black Manta one did.
They had to turn all the arcs that weren't meant to be offers into offers. So it's crap. I already have this arc written. How can I make it into an offer? And it's Lex Luthor offers that he's okay with Bane. What?
The Harley Quinn one was hysterical, and that's just Harley Quinn making fun of crossover comics for
I don't think
couple
I read
weeks
it all.
in
I
a
read
row.
the first issue, which was her reading a comic in the hospital, and I also saw the cover of the one where she was transformed into that weird, crazy robot thing. I don't even know what the heck it was.
It's so
weird. It
was
a funny looking cover.
But sort of a couple series as well. Aquaman did the good job balancing Year of the Villain with Black Manta. My understanding is Batgirl launched in the middle of Year of the Villain, and so that did a decent job because the first story was based around that. Green Lantern just pretended like it didn't exist. Batman kind of pretended like Year of the Villain didn't exist. That one crossover thing or whatever was weird. City of the Man has its own problems, but it did pretend like it didn't exist. Most of the Superman stuff ignored was more focused on Leviathan, which was going on at the same time. The big thing is Leviathan was quote unquote part of the Year of the Villain, but it wasn't really wasn't. I don't know. Year of the Villain's gonna be an interesting thing to cover.
None of the Year of the Villain was actually. That's the problem with the Villain. It wasn't a thing. It just they tried to make it a thing, but it's still by the time it hit shelves wasn't actually a thing that ever happened. Despite they keep saying it. It's so weird.
I think the best way to explain Year of the Villain to literally anyone is to say it like this. Do you remember in 2018, when they had the Summer of Events?
Yeah, but the Summer of the Events was way better than Year of the Villain. They didn't try to force
okay, so if you think about Summer of Events, okay, in a sense, there's 3 different main series going on simultaneously that they're all saying they're part of Year of the Villain, but in a sense, it's like Summer Events is just this like broad title to say, hey, we're doing a bunch of big comics this summer. Year of the Villain
Yeah,
was
but
sort of
Year of the
supposed to
Villain,
do the same thing. Event Leviathan was, well,
except
part of Year
Year
of the
of the
Villain.
Villain infected every single series. Every
Yeah,
series. It wasn't a series that wasn't part of Year of the Villain. And
that's
it
not
all
true.
like
Green Lantern. Grant Morrison's
that's
Green
because
Lantern.
Grant Morrison, like, doesn't he like literally have a contract that they can't like tell him to do?
I don't know. Grant
I
Morrison's a
think
weird
that's
one.
actually it. That his name sells well enough that they just don't bother to try to tell him what to do.
I don't
So
think I feel like Grant Morrison is like, let me just
I think
write
they
some random stuff that's so convoluted and I'll just come up with a bunch of cool ideas on paper that none of them actually work, and let's print the comic and then see critics be like, oh my god, Grant Morrison's so amazing. Because I read a
I'm
Grant
not a big
Morrison comic,
fan
I'm
of.
like, I don't understand. Like
I
Doom,
liked a few of his stuff. I like his
like
Doom Patrol.
I don't get his Doom Patrol. Like it's just too absurd. And like the Doom Patrol
I
TV
kind of
series
like
did a
it.
great job adapting it. But like Grant Morrison, I'm constantly like, what the frick is going on in this series?
Doom Patrol falls into this sort of like trap where it's like a list of random weird things. Like literally,
Yeah,
there will be pages which literally just like, and then these weird things without explanations happened, and it'll literally just be a panel for each weird thing that happened, and then it will just move on, and
amen.
it's just showing you that things are weird, man. I like some of like the allegories for like bigotry and things like that. It was actually like really like well handled and well made. I felt
Yeah,
like that stuff. It was weird as heck how it was like handled and made, but I think it like sort of
yeah.
I like that's like one of the few Grant Morrison things I actually like.
So definitely, if you're looking at stuff to read this week, read Year of the Villain and read Deceased. When reading, so the Year of the Villain single comic works fairly well in that but it's important to realize that it takes place after Justice League 23 and 24 and 25. So it's really more of a preview comic,
Actually,
and
nothing
it
making
does a
on
decent
anything.
job. What?
It's so it
What's
actually
wrong?
like so it depends. Like half of it happens like during that arc.
Well, okay, so
Half
here's
of it
what
happens during the Sixth World arc, and like another part of it happens like after, but like I'm not sure when after. Like just after, or like are they on their way back from the Sixth World? They don't really make it clear.
So I actually think Year of the Villain was a very solid story and did a great job making things feel connected. The
It was
problem
a
is
nice
none of the comics all
teaser.
like ignored any of the groundwork Year of the Villain laid.
Well, because it's easier to tell one issue
Oh yeah,
that's
absolutely.
like about that's connecting everything than to make all the already written stories somehow connected.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I it's just so they should have just done like a summer events things where these crazy things are happening at once, and we're like just because that's how it is. They tried to force it. Like I like the idea of Year of the Villain, but like a massive thing like that, like infecting like all the series, you can only do that if you like plan it out in advance. It's so obvious that
Well, so what I thought would work really well, and it didn't end up working out, and I think it's mostly because of planning. But I thought would be really cool for them to be like, we want to connect their comics more to the big story, so we're gonna have some tie-in elements. But we're not telling the writer, but we're just telling the writers, in a sense, to write their normal arcs and just incorporate this element, which in theory could have worked really well. You know, especially when the elements is just choose a big villain for your hero to fight and then have Lex make him even more powerful. That's the entire basis of You're the Villain, which sounds awesome in a sense.
yeah, but like he doesn't even really make them more powerful. It's just sort of like, hey, like an arc is gonna happen. Well, sure, it
Yeah.
was gonna happen anyways.
And then you have people like Bendis who just they're like, okay, I'm gonna have Lex give Lois some kryptonite. Let's forget about that. And then like Superman sees that like Lois is like a lead line case and like wants to open it, and Lois like, no, 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 you can't open it. Don't open it. No. And then he like then it's like opens it
And
and
then
it's like
Bendis like, you
kryptonite.
see, this is why they're separated. Aren't you
Yeah.
happy I separated them, dear readers?
Oh my god. Did you read anything from Bendis's Q&A? Oh my god.
No. I think Bendis really, 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 really loves Superman. I think
I
he's just not that good at
I
writing.
think he does. But so here's what he said. He talked about John, okay? And I don't think he gets why fans are so pissed at John about what he did to John. because he said, like, look, he said, I get that fans hate time jumps. I think, and I get it too. I hate time jumps too. When I had like a month time jump in Daredevil, people were pissed. But I think what he's missing is that when he did his 7-year time jump with John, he stopped feeling like John and started just feeling like Superman 2.0, but with none of the
I
qualities
think
that
that's
made
because
John
Bendis
John.
actually knows how to write the character of Superman, and he doesn't know how to write the character of John. So he sort of made John into Superman. Or he tried to make him into a character he would like write better. Like,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
he's like a teen who's like basically Superboy. I mean, John was already Superboy, but now he's like more of a classic Superboy.
yeah, but like it
Like, oh,
sounds
he's
to me
gonna be
like he's ready
Superman.
to just time jump again, and I'm like, I just can't keep doing like these time jumps. Like I get wanting to make him like Superman 2.0, but like I don't even want to. Like and then like it was just like a streamline of series of things that he said that were just like, oh my god, Bendis. And I love the guy. I've read most of the stuff he writes. I enjoy
Ultimate
his Young
Spider-Man is
Justice.
really good.
Like, yeah, his Marvel stuff is great. But I really think he's the kind of guy who just needs to create his own characters or work with characters that haven't been used in such a long time that like he can sort of shape them however he wants.
Yeah,
Because
that's a
every
better idea.
time, especially with the DC stuff, all the stuff that he's like messed with new characters, like Teen Lantern's kind of fun.
But you see, the problem is there's
Naomi's
all this
great.
continuity, and he has to get all that continuity out of the way so he can write his own thing.
Yeah.
So, hence time jumps. You see, you can't like get rid or kill off John or send him to a farm or something, because the fans would be really mad.
Now,
And
here's
you
what I'm
can't
curious
have
about.
Lois Lane unmarry Superman, because the fans would be really mad. Instead, she's sort of just over there.
Well, this is the problem. He's going off of one of the most beloved Superman runs in a long time and trying to
Yeah.
respond to that. If he was the first writer after Superman New 52, his series would be selling like hotcakes.
Oh, well, heck yes, because it would
Or,
be, one, be probably way better than that, and two, there'd be less continuity that he'd have to mess with
yeah, the whole
to
continuity
make it
post,
to what he
yeah.
wants.
But he's coming off of this amazing run that, to me, is who Superman will always be to me. And there are more defining runs of Superman, but for a new reader, that's the definitive Superman run.
It's
Because
the
there,
one you started off with, and it's the main one that you read.
well, and also it's just so good and gets who Superman
It is very good.
for so well. Like to me, that's who Superman will always be. And
Why
sure,
is
you can
Mr.
add a
Oz
couple
still
elements,
alive?
but that's like to me, Superman will always be a family guy, especially once he has a family. And you can see how definitive his run was because that's the basis of the Superman CW TV show, which probably will not be happening this year or get like a serious delay to like February or something. Oh my
That
god.
sucks. I don't
I
love that.
know. I was so looking forward to that.
They were talking about like advanced techniques that they are doing, like not really advanced techniques, but like, oh, maybe we'll just make it so that like there's no action scene, so we can film it all 6 feet apart. It's
I just that's not gonna.
I don't think
I
that they're
feel
actually
so
gonna
bad
do
for
that.
every TV show ever. And like High School Musical, the musical series is on pause, and I'm like devastated. Like we all know Titans season like 3, which was supposed to start filming like last month, if I
Ooh,
recall. It's
wait.
just
Here's an update for our audience, like Donnell and nobody else.
okay.
I actually watched High School series.
Oh yeah.
I actually finally I watched
Just
the
the first
first
episode though,
episode.
right? Yeah.
So far, I'm gonna watch the rest of it, which you've been trying to get me to do since it came out, which is a while ago
Uh-huh.
now. Like half a year. I've talked about it in the podcast. I've mocked your love for it in the podcast. I thoroughly enjoyed the first episode. It was kind of I can't say I'm on the edge of my seat to find out what happened, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I get it. That's kind of where I would.
I don't know if it's better than The Wire or not right now. I'll have to watch the whole show.
I think I was thinking, Matt, and this is all I'm going to say on this because we already opened with our Disney Plus. But I think I was never craving the next episode.
To talk about Disney
I don't think I was ever craving the next episode. I was just always really excited every time an episode came out. Like there was just something about like how every issue sort of led into the next.
I feel like you were like sort of like excited for the next episodes. You would talk about like how you didn't know like where it was like gonna go next.
Oh, but I always loved the like time to like theorize, you know.
Yeah, like
some series do a great job with that.
Episode.
You know, and like often the episodes felt complete enough to where it was never like I have to keep watching, but rather I can't wait for next week, except for the 2-part season finale, right? And so like it was really really nice, and I loved theory time. And to give you perspective, I was always so excited for it that when I was up at midnight, whenever I was up at midnight to watch the like content, I always watched High School before Mandalorian. Always. You know, so I was definitely excited for it, you know, and but I was also like, I didn't need, like if the whole series had come out at once, I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much.
Speaking of staying up till midnight, I think I'm going to stay up till midnight to like, I don't know when it's going to be, but to watch the last Clone Wars episode.
Me too. You want to like figure out if we can like screen share it or something?
I don't know.
And watch it together?
Try. That'd be fun.
I mean, so here's what's happening on Disney Plus tonight, okay? Final episode of Clone Wars, and as well as the Mandalorian documentary premieres.
Oh, it does?
The first issue, yeah. So that's also today.
I didn't know it came out. I thought it was coming
and then, as well as the final film, and then as well the Rise of Skywalker also comes tonight. So basically, every Star Wars movie will now, except I don't know if Solo's on here yet, but basically every Star Wars film will be on here or on Disney Plus, not here because we're a DC universe. But let's get into some news.
Sure,
We've talked enough about other stuff.
We're definitely a DC universe
podcast. we
never talk about anything at this point. We just need to like name it something general, like pop culture, like podcast, with like a slight like news updates on DC Universe because we all like DC. Just we talk about stuff that we're kind of thinking of for an hour.
That's right. We're calling it Fans of DC Universe and Other Stuff.
We are fans of DC Universe. That's where the title fits in. We just also happen to talk about other stuff. It doesn't say that the podcast is about DC Universe, just that fans of DC Universe are hosting it, right?
But we are the best source for all DC Universe news and discussion on everything DCU. Just saying.
Aside from official sources.
And it's besides official sources. But we are the only DCU podcast for the fans, by the fans. Ooh.
That sounds
if we focused on other things, then we wouldn't be. We'd just be like one of 1,000 pop culture podcasts. This is the only thing that makes us special.
Yeah,
exactly. We have to be the best because we're the only ones.
Well, let's talk about the DC. Let's talk about one of the topics that no one else will be talking about on any of the podcasts.
Has their podcast now, so crap. We're not the only ones, but we are the only ones by
the fans. Yeah. So let's talk about something that no one else will be talking about in their podcast this week. DC Rewards program has moved to an open beta, which means we can talk about it. Ooh, without any sort of stipulation.
I didn't actually join the open beta. Are you allowed to talk about the open beta?
Yeah.
If you're like part of the beta?
Oh no, you just have to click the link. The first week it was closed and you had to sign up and they had to accept you.
Oh, now it's open.
Yeah. So now you just click anyone can click a link and join in.
So I haven't actually explored it yet, despite you urging me to on DC on the Discord. So give us an explanation of what it is.
Okay, so we explained it a lot last week because they had released the Q&A that we could talk about, but now there's some extra things. So I'm going to discuss some of the new stuff, and then we can come back and I can answer your questions. So the big one is what are the rewards?
If listeners already know, I'll figure out myself. I'll just read
I'll,
the
I'll, I'll,
Q&A, or
I'll answer
actually
your
listen to
questions
the
in a second.
podcast for once.
The big thing that we didn't answer last week is what are the rewards? And part of that is we weren't allowed to talk about them. So basically the idea is you can get a max of 250 tokens a week. So currently there's a cap. We'll see if it changes. My opinion on the cap changed a little bit this week, but anyway, there's the limit. You can only get 250 a week. So for 400 tokens, you can get 30 days of DC Universe. So if
Is that
you
a one-time
max
only
out
thing?
on your stuff every 2 weeks, you can give yourself 30 days of DC Universe, and you can basically have DC Universe for free at the moment. You can also, for 400 tokens,
Is that only a one-time thing though? Because that feels like it could be abused to just infinitely do.
Yep, it's something you can infinitely do, apparently. You can also use it to give someone, a friend, a username and account to DC Universe. And I actually did that last week. Originally, it was 250 tokens. Yeah,
Finally.
so if you have like some real life friends you want to give an account to, you can earn some tokens for them, and then
finally, people have been begging for like gifting accounts
I
forever. I
love
remember
it.
when DC
Yeah.
Universe first launched, everybody was like, "Hey, I have a friend who I think would love DC Universe, and I would love to just gift them some." And they're like, "I don't know." Maybe eventually we'll do that.
I definitely password
like,
shared
what?
so I could talk to someone about Titans, but and then I
What?
changed the password. Yeah.
Don't have that on the podcast. They know who you are. They'll come after you.
They don't know who. Whatever. I don't think there's.
Your name is literally your username.
Whatever.
They find you.
What? It's whatever. It's fine. But for 1,000 tokens, you can get the DC Artist Alley Batgirl statue. It's the white and gold version, and they'll ship it to your house. For 225 tokens, you can get some DC Universe exclusive Batcave wallpapers and Fortress of Solitude wallpapers, which are perfect for your Zoom meetings. And for 1,500 tokens, that'll take you 6 weeks. You can get the DC Universe Harley Quinn show statue for free. And for 750, you can get the San Diego Comic-Con Titans poster.
Ooh,
exclusive. So
these are some nice bonuses.
No, so this is awesome, right? And these are subject to change because it's the beta. And I wouldn't be shocked if they like lower like the wallpapers and stuff, and they raise the subscription to like 700 or something.
Yeah, the subscription has to be more, and it has to be like a limited amount you can get.
Well, initially it was 250 tokens.
Yeah, it has to.
And they changed it. Yeah.
Like at this point, like if you can get infinitely, if you just have an account and you use it, you'll never have to pay for the account.
Yeah, my big thing. Well, yeah, I think the thing that I argued for is that you shouldn't be able to give yourself a subscription, but it should be 250 to give anyone else a subscription. Like, I think that's just really cool. Like, if it's not yourself, then it's cheaper. But 400 is really not that bad, you know?
Yeah.
And it's for like 30 full days, and you don't have to like put in a credit card. So if you like don't cancel when those 30 days, you just punch it in, you get 30 days free.
Nice.
So I have a friend who's super Harley Quinn obsessed, who I sent a free subscription to. I don't know if they used it. They said they wanted it, and then I don't know if they touched it in because I can't see that part. I hope they did.
You could always ask them.
I could. I probably will. Otherwise, then I have a free thing to give out. Anyway, so that's one element of it. Another element is how it's connected to the DC Universe app as a whole. Right? It's another thing we can talk about. So when you go to comic books or movie or the homepage, where you normally see like the My DC link or like a little profile picture, there's also a rewards section which you click on. However, also below it now, there's like this little fancy thing. It says 50. That says your number of tokens. So I'm going to send a picture to the Discord so that AwesomeSquid can see what it looks like. But ask me some questions.
So how do you earn the tokens?
Oh, good question. So you earn the tokens by either posting on the community, watching videos, or reading comics. You can get
how much of that do you have to do?
Well, it's 10. You get 10 for each of those activities, basically. I think you get 20 for an hour TV show. And then there's a couple weird things. There are a couple ways to game it still, but that's the basic idea and premise. And then you also get points for reading encyclopedia articles, reading news articles, that sort of stuff. And here's what's interesting, okay? If you are a new face and you just want to participate in the community and you don't have a DC Universe account and you're listening to this podcast, which I doubt is very many of you listen to this podcast. I'm pretty sure everyone who listens owns DC Universe. But if you don't own DC Universe and you're listening, then if you participate in the community once this goes out of beta, you'll be able to earn tokens up and get your 30-day subscription. Right? Which is kind of cool. There's a way to get your subscription without paying. But it will take longer because there's a limit on the number of points I think you can get from community specifically. Because otherwise it's 25 comments and done. Does that make sense? And it's for anything you read. There are little bonuses, like they have suggestions. Like if you read one of their suggestions, you get 5 or 10 extra tokens from reading that instead. So if you read Aquaman Rebirth #1, you get 15 tokens instead of 10. But that's the basis for how it all works. Any other questions? Did I just stop talking? Hello? Hi.
I can hear you.
You just weren't talking?
No, I've been talking. I'm talking about how it's nice that they, how even if you don't have a subscription,
Got it.
participating in, maybe on eventually try out.
Is TornadoSoup,
Yes.
is he going in and out for you?
Yeah. I'm getting
Okay.
every fifth word, probably.
Okay, then that was the problem. Okay. AwesomeSquid, can you try exiting and re-entering or turning off your internet and turning it back on or something?
Okay.
But so I'm very pleased with the rewards program. My one sort of comment is I'd rather have a daily limit than a weekly limit. Because if you max out a weekly limit, then you have incentive then you get discouraged from coming back on.
You better not have been talking about how Tom King's Batman was good while I was gone.
We didn't talk about it.
How would I know?
You don't. You just trust me. But I'm generally really pleased with it. I think you should get more for TV because it's just it takes so much more time than reading comics sometimes. I can get through 12 Nightwing comics sometimes in an hour, whereas it takes me 23 minutes to get through a Harley Quinn.
Yeah, comics are probably one of the least time-consuming mediums ever. Because you can.
Although at the same time, it takes a longer time to get through your older comics, right?
Well, it takes more focus too. You can have you could put on Harley Quinn as just background noise and then get a bunch of tokens for it. You can't. I guess if you put it on autoplay on TV or something, then you could get that for comics too. So
yeah,
ideally,
when I think about,
do you have to spend a certain amount of time on the comics, or
no? It's you have to finish it.
So wait, you just have to you can just quickly flip through them and get a bunch of tokens?
At the moment, yeah. I propose it should be based on time spent being engaged in the content. Now, obviously, it's still somewhat hard, but so
you could just leave
a really
it open.
Comic, and you take a long time, or you're just a slower comic reader, you don't feel this pressure to zoom ahead. But overall, I'm very, very pleased with the system. My only other critique
makes sense in this case.
My only other critique is that the community is still in a separate system from the comics and news. And so in the news page, you get the. Did I post the link yet? No.
No.
Okay. I posted in the podcast on the watch along chat. I posted a little
Ooh,
picture of what it
50
looks like.
tokens?
Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Because I spent my 250 from the closed beta already. But I'm really pleased with the rewards. I'm gonna say that, and I think it's gonna take people a while to start getting them. But once people start getting them, they're just gonna go out right away. What I would like to see is them just give as many of the dates as they can. So, like, for example, if there's one that's like 3,000, it's like this massive thing. I wish that like they told you like that ahead of time, because I would have saved up for one of the statues instead of giving out a DC Universe subscription, right? But that's not necessarily a bad thing, I still got to give someone a DC subscription, which is something I'd never get to do with Disney Plus or Marvel Unlimited or any of the others, right? So
I don't know. Like, you can buy gift subscriptions for most services, right?
yeah, but,
You can
to
get
get
it for free just for using it.
yeah, for Marvel Unlimited you
Like,
can get a month, but it takes basically 100,000 tokens. And in all my time with Marvel Unlimited, I've owned it for a year and a
Marvel
half.
Unlimited has tokens?
Yeah, although it's not, it's a little different it's points, and it's a little different of a system. It's called Marvel Insider. But in all my time using Marvel Unlimited, which is longer than I've had DCU for, I still haven't hit 1 month for free. So this is a significantly more generous program. And honestly, if this is the route they're going, like, I'm very pleased. Now, the big caveat to all of this is that they're reassessing everything in September, and that you will likely lose all your tokens come September that you haven't spent.
Wait, why?
Because I think it's because they haven't decided if this is cost effective or not, or whatnot. Like, if, for example, if they're taking a huge loss because everyone's getting all the statues and everything, then it's not gonna
So then
be
they might
great,
close
right?
it down. They might
Yeah.
close down.
They might say, "Oh, this didn't work, and we want to reassess and come up with a new rewards program system." But overall, I'm
Okay.
very pleased with it.
Okay. Nobody buy anything with their tokens. Just accumulate tokens until September. And then they'll be like, oh, it is cost effective. And then immediately once it's done, spend all your tokens. Get all the statues. Get everything nice.
there should be one that takes like 10 billion tokens, and it's like have a spaghetti dinner with Jim Lee or something. Like some completely
like
unattainable goal.
well, like,
you
what would
could get.
okay? So what would, like, if let's say it was 2 years, like, it had to be maxed out for 2 years in a row. So let's say that would be like 250 times 50. So like over 62,000, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It needs to be like 13,000 tokens. But I'd be so down for that. I think Jim Lee would be like, "Oh, everyone's saving for me. Maybe we change that." But they did also say that these are limited supplies, so they'll change based off of what they have available.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they only have so many Harley Quinn exclusive statues. So if you want one, you're gonna want to get it as soon as you max out, right? And you're gonna want to be making sure you're maxing out each week. And the rewards program will reset exactly a week from when you register. I would honestly rather just be a global reset where everyone gets their reset, let's say Monday night, whenever the new comics come out. But that's where they're at on that.
No, wait, they're resetting like in a week?
Oh, so no. So how it works is not your tokens. No, your weekly like max or whatever resets is back to 0. So you can earn tokens again. And how it works right now is a week after you register. So if I register
I
on a
gotta start
Wednesday, then
saving up
every
for the
Wednesday
Bacco
I can get
statue. I
back
want the
to
Bacco
250.
statue.
Oh,
See,
that background statue is sick.
You see, I try to avoid like buying merch like that because I know I'll just want to buy it all and it'll be expensive. But if I could get it for tokens, then
And for being a loyal member to DC Universe. Yes, sir. Moving on to other news, we have DCU is losing last-minute content. Now, at the start of this, we were talking briefly about what's going on with HBO. Or I don't know if we talked about it on this podcast or not. I have no idea.
Did was it before? I think it was before.
No, I think it was before. Yeah, so due to COVID, due to unforeseen circumstances, We regret to inform you that we are losing a few of our animated movies this month. Please stay tuned for our June announcement, which promises more riches to come.
I feel like it's
I
definitely.
thought this was over COVID-19 related things. But because they said of most unfortunate of regrettable circumstances. Of the most unfortunate of regrettable circumstances. And we're losing Batman and Harley Quinn.
But
Teen
how
Titans,
would
the Judas
COVID
soundtrack,
make us lose movies?
Justice League Dark, and Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. Now, this is the big question, is where are these going?
Probably HBO Max, if I had to guess.
So then here's the question. What are they announcing in June?
Something to replace it, or some integration between the two, maybe?
Or Doom Patrol?
Yeah, when is Doom Patrol Season 2 happening?
Well, it's in post-production.
I don't think I've ever been as excited, for a weekly show as I have been for, Doom Patrol.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Doom Patrol, was, the first, time on a streaming service when I was like, I cannot freaking wait till next week. The minute I had free time, it was like, Doom Patrol time, right now. And I would just,
We started this podcast, right after Doom Patrol finished, and I was so sad, because we didn't get to talk about,
Doom Patrol is so good.
my caveman intercourse or any of that stuff. It was just too fun. I love Doom Patrol. Can't wait. But we are getting Stargirl in, 2 weeks.
Oh, it's coming so fast.
Actually, you know what? No, why we aren't getting Doom Patrol? They're going to delay it till Stargirl finishes. I'm calling it. They're going to delay Doom Patrol till Stargirl finishes because they need to stall as much time for Titans.
Oh, they need to stall. Yeah, they don't want to drought.
Yeah. I'm sure they're biting themselves in the butt right now for releasing Harley Quinn and being like, ah, dang it. Because their whole thing is we have new content every week, and I have a feeling that we're about to hit this period of just no new content.
We've hit that period before.
For not for more than 2 weeks. Because they saved it. They quote unquote saved it with All-Star Games or whatever, which was stupid.
Yeah.
That's true. What was before
it was
Harley
technically
Quinn?
new content.
Before Harley Quinn? No, it was Harley Quinn till November. Oh, Titans. It was Titans.
Harley Quinn started, Titans ended the week Harley Quinn premiered.
Yeah,
and Titans started when Young Justice ended.
I kind of like the continuous new.
Oh, I love it. I love, especially for a podcast that strives on new content and talking about weekly releases.
Maybe we'll get All-Star Games too.
I don't want an All-Star Games too. Oh.
You're getting it. When are the pilots for all the game shows supposed to be happening?
Well, they're all on hold because of COVID.
Not game shows, the unscripted.
Yeah, that was probably that they're all on hold. So what? We have Bizarro
COVID's
TV.
Probably messing the heck out of that.
Yeah, we have Bizarro TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Stargirl's 12-ish episodes-ish. So that's gonna go till July. Doom Patrol's probably gonna be the next giant segment, and then Bizarro TV. And then I think they're out of stuff. Unless Young Justice comes in. Which I'm not.
We haven't even heard of Young Justice yet, right?
Yeah,
there's been no info. There hasn't been nary a rumor.
Yeah, since San Diego Comic-Con last year.
I want it.
And
I
all
didn't
the
even
HBO
really enjoy that last season.
People are pissed at HBO for having and not DC Universe. None of those are going to be out at launch, right? They're all a ways out. Kind of like the Marvel stuff is still a little bit of a ways out, and just got another delay because they didn't finish filming and because they finished filming WandaVision, but they didn't finish the Captain America one. So it's kind of like that, right?
This whole thing is awful. Why is COVID suffocating all the content I was excited for?
Well, you have High School Musical the series.
That's true. I have so many things to binge, and so far I've liked one of the things I binged. I didn't even like The Wire.
You're right. I'm just
now the comments. Nobody listens to the podcast, but still, people are going to somehow be mad at me for not liking The Wire. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't it's okay. No, that's wrong. I enjoyed it. I don't understand why people think it's so special and one of the best TV shows of all time. It was a pretty okay TV show.
Yeah.
It was like
Okay.
pretty fairly good at like points. It was never like the most mind-blowingly great or revolutionary TV show. Maybe it was revolutionary. I don't know. I didn't watch it when it came out.
I think the thing that's gonna really suck, and we're not gonna feel it till a little bit in, but it's just the fact that like we're not gonna have like any TV come October. Because
Oh
like
yeah,
the
there's not going to be
Mandalorian,
anything ready, and then
because the
maybe we'll get.
Mandalorian finished right before COVID, so we're gonna get Mandalorian season 2, and Doom
Featuring
Patrol finished
Teen
right
Yoda,
before.
according to IGN.
What? Yeah.
IGN had that like joke fake trailer for Mandalorian season 2, and people
Oh my
got
god,
mad at them.
so
I
weird.
don't. It
Well,
was
they opened
weird.
with like the official, and then they didn't like.
I don't know. I don't really care that much.
I got
I
baited.
don't understand why people were so mad. I was kind
It
of
also looked
disappointed.
serious for like a good solid like minute, you know. But so
It
like
wasn't.
Doom Patrol, I feel like Doom Patrol and
I think the
Mandalorian
biggest
are gonna be
problem
the
was that
last shows for us to like enjoy.
whenever
Because like
it came
everyone's so
time for
excited
the
because
fake
Agents
trailer
of
to reveal
Shield.
itself as fake and be funny, it just wasn't funny.
Yeah,
See,
no,
it
it
would have
wasn't.
been more excusable to do that fake trailer thing if it actually ended up being funny, but it
Or
wasn't.
if it had been April 1st.
Yes, that's like the perfect April 1st joke. Like, why wasn't it April 1st?
Like
Was it April 1st? I don't think it was.
no, it was April. It was for 420.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That's what?
Because he like
Oh,
now
I
he
know.
became
It's like
like
the
he became
unofficial
like
like weed day. It's time for us to post a fake Mandalorian trip.
yeah, where like where Baby Yoda becomes like an adult and starts smoking pot.
It's funny.
Yay. But going back to comics, right? Like in TV shows, we have Agents of Shield, which is about to start. We have The Mandalorian, which made it through filming, and we had Doom Patrol that finished, and we have Stargirl, and that's everything left basically.
Is there anything?
Not for the
Is there
nerdum.
anything prepared for HBO Max already?
Yes, I think there's like the Elmo talk show or something.
What? Oh, that's right. I heard about that.
Yeah, I gotta look it up. Like, what are the
Haven't
HBO
even
Max
seen
launch
it.
titles?
It's gotta be some good launch
All right, so
titles.
do we know anything about Bizarro TV? I counted it up, and assuming that Doom Patrol has the same number of episodes as did last season, 15, and then assuming that Bizarro TV is able to start right after it, which is unlikely, and also assuming that it has 13 episodes, then we get to the end of January.
How many episodes will it be?
Okay,
I don't
what?
know.
Because
It could be 26 pretty easily because it's an
short form.
anthology. It could be 26, it could be 5.
It's short form, right? They're only 20-minute episodes, so
Yeah.
I can
Okay,
see it
so
being more.
here you go. So at launch we'll get Looney Tunes we'll get new Looney Tunes cartoons. We'll be getting maybe this show called White House Farm. We'll be getting Love
What?
Life, which is a romantic comedy anthology. We'll be getting something called Raised by Wolves, and that's about it. And then I guess some of the animated stuff will make it through, right? But there's not going to be a lot. Craftopia, Legendary, the Not Too Late Show with Elmo. Like HBO Max is going to have some problems with
That's quite a bit of stuff. It's just not a lot of established stuff.
Well, also, like, how much of that excites you?
I don't know. But that's generally what
point.
HBO does. HBO isn't like a big.
Well, HBO
HBO
Max. HBO Max is not really doesn't really have much to do with HBO. It's just HBO is like the nice premiere title that Warner Brothers owns. It's literally just a Warner Brothers streaming service.
The one really nice thing about HBO Max is that everyone's going to be talking about Doom Patrol, right? Especially if it's a banger of a season. Because everyone who has HBO is gonna be like, "Oh, yay!" So,
Like how
it's a
everybody's
big
talking about
series.
Tiger King for some reason.
Everyone
haven't
talked about
watched
Tiger
it
King.
yet.
They had nothing to do.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody's going to be watching Doom Patrol because they have nothing to do.
Yeah, and Doom
Everybody's
Patrol
finally
will be
going to be
worth it.
watching the same thing.
I know. I'm actually looking forward to just everyone talking about Doom Patrol instead of it just being like all the nerds.
Doom Patrol is legitimately like a great show.
It's such a good show. It's the
I
show that
think
no
it
one
sort of
watches.
falls flat towards the end. It sort of went in a direction I wasn't
So
expecting.
let's hope that when Applejack said that we're losing content, but that they have a big June announcement with lots of great things, let's hope and pray to God that that's a bunch of HBO movies and stuff coming to DC Universe. Specifically, let's get our DC Extended Universe. Please. Like, come on. And let's get her Batwoman, you know? Like, let's get that stuff that contractually DC Universe could just get if the HBO Max lets them. Also, we have more news about what's coming to DC Comics shops in May. So, I don't remember what's coming out May 10th or like the next 2 weeks. But on May 19th, we're getting Deceased Unkillables number 3, which is the finale. The Dollhouse Family number 6, which is the finale. Flash Giant number 4. We're getting Plunge number 3. Superman's Pal Jimmy Olsen number 10. Red Hood Outlaw number 45. Wonder Woman number 755. And Year of the Villain Hell's Arisen number 3, third printing. So we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new comics. We're getting 7 whole new comics, which is awesome. And then we're getting like even when we're getting a whole nother big batch of comics like the week after. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And we're getting 14 new comics on Tuesday. So basically, DC's just holding out like their couple of big bangers until June. But they're ramping up very quickly.
Wait,
They come out on Tuesdays now, so does that even really count? It's not on Wednesdays anymore, so they're not real comics.
Oh my god! What?
Yeah,
okay, they're not like
it's heresy. They're not applying to like the sanctity of like Wednesday.
They have an article on why they're doing Tuesday. It doesn't really bother me at all because let's be honest, people should just be thankful for what they're getting right now.
Day.
Okay.
Reading new comics on a Tuesday is heresy.
My comics loyalist here. Ugh. Like
the only way to read them is fresh on Wednesday, but even then they're not even fresh anymore. So basically we don't have new comics.
Whatever.
That's like making toast and then waiting until the next day to eat it. That's just bread at that point. Yeah. It's just like extra crusty bread.
Well, I guess if you want other comics, you can just look at what Diamond is doing with everything that's not DC. DC's refused to say anything that. Oh wait, never mind. So I guess you can see Diamond unofficial list of what's coming. For Marvel, for example, it's Black Cat in all of May. So basically, they're starting in May, and they're not shipping a whole lot of titles for like all of May and June and July. They're shipping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 comics only. That's right.
And 12
Marvel
issues
for all of June is only shipping and May, and part of July is only shipping 12 new comics. The biggest of the hits is Empire Avengers number 0, Marauders
How's
number 10.
How's this going to affect?
I don't know. And the God Love Man Kills extended cut. And then I was going to say Dr. Aphra, which is a big deal, except they actually announced today that tomorrow we're going to be able to read Dr. Aphra number 1 early.
Dr. what?
Dr. Aphra number 1, Star Wars Dr. Aphra number 1. So it's going to be releasing on Monday instead for Star Wars Day.
They're starting a new Dr. Aphra series?
Yep.
Oh. I didn't know that.
And then, just so that you know, there's no word on when Death Metal's coming from the unofficial release, from the unofficial next month from Diamond.
We'll still be able to get our DC fix, though, because the Not Too Late show with Elmo will feature a guest appearance from Batman.
Oh!
Welcome to 2020! Where people stuck in home because the world is on fire can watch Elmo interview Batman on a talk show.
I kind of really got to see this though.
Is it going to be Kevin Conroy as Batman?
I don't know. The wiki just says confirmed guests include including the list of Batman.
Includes Batman.
And
Wouldn't it
Jim
be amazing
Salad.
if they got like Ben Affleck to come back as Batman just for that?
Oh
Wouldn't
my
do the
God.
movie, but they'll do the Not Too Late Show with Elmo.
I would do the Not Too Late Show. Like, who would?
I'm
I
down.
mean, I would rather be on the Not Too Late Show with Elmo than Justice League, but doesn't seem a lot.
Oh my god, you guys are hysterical. Anyway, the last article today is that Red Hood's Outlaws will officially be ending with number 50. It's kind of a sad one to end it off. But honestly, I'll
I
be
hope
honest,
that
very
this
few
is
people are
actually
reading
true.
it.
I don't actually have like a good source for this Batman thing, but if it's not true, I'm gonna die.
Well, all right, so Batman did just team up with Scooby-Doo
I mean,
like
Batman teams up
recently.
with Scooby-Doo all the time.
He does that like a lot, but it was a more
Dude, it's like the
recent thing on
90s.
the but he did it more recently with the most recent animated show. So hopefully that means that
Scooby-Doo and Guess Who or something.
yeah, that was Kevin Conroy Batman. Oh,
Did you hear that that the Late Show with Elmo was super controversial? Apparently,
Why?
this is coming from Wikipedia, so you can trust them. Fans of Sesame
Elmo doesn't wear pants.
that Elmo's
That is
prominent
true.
status has caused roles to be greatly reduced for some older characters, such as Oscar the Grouch, Big Bird, Count Von Count, Prairie Dawn, Grover,
That's true.
and
Why aren't we
Mud.
having like the Late
Right.
Show with Grover?
Some fans also blame Elmo for their departure of Kermit the Frog from Sesame Street. Elmo has been referred to as
It
the
has
Red
nothing to
Menace
do with
by
it.
Sesame Street traditionalists.
I
In
mean,
his
they're both.
FAQ, the Sesame Street Workshop addressed the allegation that Elmo referring to himself in. Oh my god, it's insane. In its FAQ, the Sesame Workshop addresses the allegation that Elmo, referring to himself in third person, will teach children improper English by stating that this behavior mimics the behavior of many preschoolers, like 3-year-olds. He doesn't always have the skills or knowledge to speak proper English.
Yeah, no, I've heard that before. That like giving your children like too young, like before their language skills fully develop, showing them Sesame Street could screw with that because, like, Elmo talks weird to them. I think that's like the right way to talk. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's a rumor that I've definitely heard before.
But
Okay.
Kermit the Frog left Sesame Street in the mid-'70s, like 10 years before Elmo even became Elmo. I don't understand. Also, Elmo was at Jim Henson's funeral. I think that.
So here are the confirmed guests for the Not Too Late Show with Elmo. You ready?
Have you not seen anything from Jim Henson's funeral? It's the most beautiful thing.
No.
Big Bird comes on. It's like a giant performance, like a giant celebration of his life, and Big Bird comes out into the front of everyone and sings "It's Not Easy Being Green," and he's like almost in tears. It's heartbreaking, but it's like also really amazing to watch.
I'm gonna have to watch that right after.
Okay, so here are the other confirmed guests for Elmo. Okay. It will feature Casey Musgraves, who will be performing Rubber Ducky. In addition to Musgraves, other confirmed guests include Sarah Bareilles, Batman, Miles Brown, Ciara, Andy Cohen, Jimmy Fallon, Josh Groban, Michael Michelle Harris, the Jonas Brothers, Hoda Kotb, Lil Nas X, Blake Lively, John Mulaney, John Oliver, Pentatonic, Ben Platt, and Jason Sudeikis.
This is gonna be the most.
Okay, wait. Why is Batman the only fictional character though?
Oh my god!
I thought Batman, like I thought there were gonna be a bunch, like they were gonna get other Sesame Street Muppets on, or like have Kermit the Frog's owned by Disney, but
Bugs Bunny or something.
Have like Scooby Doo come on. Why isn't Scooby Doo there? Why isn't Bugs Bunny a guest? What?
No, it's not Scooby Doo. It's Blake Lively and John Oliver. Oh my god, it's John Oliver!
Hey kids, do you want to see Elmo interview the Jonas Brothers?
We can't understand a word you're saying, so I'm just going to talk over you.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay,
Also,
so
I
wait.
just
All
love
right,
the
from now
idea of
on, this is no longer the Fans of the DC Universe podcast. This is Fans
fans
of Not Too Late
Not
with
Too
Elmo
Late,
podcast.
Yes.
Oh my god. We might have to like make one episode, like when the first episode of the spinoff comes out at launch, we're just gonna accidentally rename the series.
Just accidentally.
Like one episode. Oh my god.
We'll have to review the
This is
Batman
amazing.
episode.
We gotta review this. Oh my
This is
god.
going to be absolutely insane.
It will be.
How
So
long are
I have no idea. But speaking of insanity, did you guys watch Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an
What did you
episode.
say? You cut out. I didn't hear.
Oh, speaking of insanity, did you guys watch Harley Quinn?
No. I'm too far behind.
Oh my god, that was an episode. TornadoSoup, what do you think of it?
I thought it was great. I've always said that Harley Quinn isn't my favorite part of the Harley Quinn show. Her not being in it was pretty great.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I have anything against her in the show. It's just
No,
she's not my favorite part. The only problem is that Poison Ivy probably is my favorite part, and she also wasn't in it. So, but there was a Bane Capital joke. Remember that when Bane and Two-Face are talking about the new name for their criminal empire? That's my new favorite joke. That's my new favorite joke in the series.
So funny.
First of all, there was the Two-Face points out that there's a shadow behind him, and Bane says like, "Oh yeah, that's the shadow that I was born in," which is obviously referencing Dark Knight Rises. But then when Bane is suggesting another name, he suggests Bane Capital, which this is like a kind of obscure political reference, but Mitt Romney, the Republican presidential candidate from 2012, was owned or was heavily invested in a firm named Bain Capital that basically did hostile takeovers of smaller companies. And if you remember, 2012 was also the year that Dark Knight Rises came out. There was some Republican talk show host, I think, on Fox, but I might have even been on Breitbart. One of them, I can't remember who it was like ranting about Hollywood, making everything political by having their villain be named Bane.
You cut out.
Because it's... Oh. Explain that again?
No,
what was...
So wait, they were accusing, like, the Dark Knight Rises of being super political because the villain was named Bane and there's a company called Bane Capital?
Because the company was
a reference?
Because the company was, heavily tied to Mitt Romney, so they thought it was like, oh, it's the Democrats, taking on the Republicans again and calling the Republican candidate evil. Even though Bane had been around for like 20, 25 years at that point, had already been in a Batman movie. Was Batman and Robin, but still a Batman movie. It was like this huge thing.
Explain the joke.
So the fact that he calls it Bane Capital, like, finally, 8 years later, we're kind of getting back at that. Like, oh yeah, it is Bane Capital.
I'm glad you explained that to me before I watched.
I really like
now. Whenever that joke does come up, I'm going to laugh like crazy because I'm going to actually understand it.
I will say I really appreciate the frame device for Harley Quinn this episode.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was so funny. They opened like these two guys that
You cut out again.
Oh, I did? No. So I really like the frame device. Right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
where they had two guys watching Harley Quinn, and they were like, "What?" Well, they were like trying to decide what to watch. They were arguing and stuff, and then they fell on Harley Quinn after like arguing and being like, "Oh, Harley, people are like saying Harley Quinn's like too sex feminist and blah 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 blah." Like you're sort of like people who are just you're like kind of just jerks and like probably comic skaters, and then they're like, and then they reading the description and they're like, and then they're like, oh, oh wait, Harley Quinn's not in it. Okay, I guess we can watch it. One of the guys has the release the Snyder cut on his shirt. And so it's just like there's a straight like 2 minutes where the words "release the Snyder Cut" are just on Harley Quinn's, or just in the Harley Quinn series.
And then the other guy is wearing a shirt that says something about the Last Jedi, like Last Jedi isn't canon. Which
I like.
I think is even funnier than the release the Snyder Cut thing, because that's a completely separate company.
Oh yeah, I thought that was fascinating. But I like The Last Jedi, so I disagree with that. Although there are people who are like that. But I feel like those same people feel like The Force Awakens is not canon. Like, oh, sorry. Not The Force Awakens.
Well, and I feel like it's a closer comparison, because a lot of the complaints that people have about Last Jedi are just the fact that the main character is a woman. There is the Snyder Cut thing is not related to that at all, really. So,
I mean, I just thought it was
Snyder
funny.
Cut is such. I don't think the Snyder Cut exists.
I just thought it was funny. So let's. What did I do with my computer? What the heck?
What if the big announcement is that they are releasing those? Like the big announcement in June is that they are releasing the Snyder Cut.
There's no way.
There's no way because it doesn't exist. But what if?
I mean, if it was true, then everything would be talking about how Harley Quinn like released the Snyder Cut like a week before. But I thought it was so funny how it ended, and the guy was like, "Oh, it's not bad. Let's watch the next one." It was like, "What do you mean I have to wait 7 days?" It was like, "Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes." Yeah. Yeah, it's like they had like pictures of like DC Universe's UI and everything, so it was kind of cool. But let's talk about what we can watch this week. That's not Harley Quinn, or as well as Harley Quinn, I guess. This is your TV show report.
Corona edition.
What?
It's Corona edition.
That was not my greatest version of that. But anyway,
wait.
What?
All right, wait. Before you go any further, I've got an idea. I wasn't thinking about this, but I just happen to have the YouTube audio library up. Let me play a song over the microphone that is royalty free. And then you just sing to that. Right?
Okay. Wait, is it playing yet?
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yes. Sort of. Though.
It's going in and out.
Turn up your microphone sensitivity.
Oh well.
Right, fine.
We got it for a second.
This is why we need to actually do editing on these things.
Anyway,
a podcast.
Yeah, but editing a podcast? Scandalous. Anyway, this is your TV show report. And yes, in our show report, which I totally just accidentally deleted from my computer screen, we are not going to be discussing Elmo. Although I'm excited with you guys for when Elmo gets to be famous. Instead, we're going to talk about on Sunday, which is today as we're filming, Batwoman. If you believe me, I'll believe you. In which Batwoman enlists Luke and Julia for an undercover mission. Ooh.
Oh, can we talk about the last episode? Wait, was it the last episode? I can't.
I am so behind them. All the CW stuff.
Okay, well, spoiler.
I'm so behind. I quit. Stopped watching after the thing that happens to the alternate Beth happens.
Okay, can I give a brief spoiler?
Sure. With Joker stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't care.
Batman killed the Joker.
Apparently in this version, yeah.
I hate that though. Don't think
Yeah.
the whole Batman is. I don't like it.
I don't know. It could leave a path towards Batman's redemption, though. You know?
But like Batwoman, also,
Yeah.
it's all just a very weird situation now.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like a repeating Arrow. Even more.
I feel like you've done the Batman, the Joker.
Yeah. I don't know.
Kind of
Anyway,
tired of it.
the new episode of Batwoman, If You Believe Me, I'll Believe in You. As well as a new episode of Supergirl in Deus Lex Machina. As Lex proceeds.
Ha ha ha!
I love that title. They're
Puns.
very good with the puns. Lex proceeds to lay an intricate plan to bring Lena closer to him, defeat Leviathan's latest attack, and pit Supergirl and team against Leviathan. Dun dun dun! If you like Candace Patton, you can watch Whose Line Is It Anyway? On May 4th. Who's apparently, it's just, I don't know if she's the host, but it's the episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway is titled Candace Patton 2. Anyway, also, there's The Flash on Tuesday. Pay the Piper. When Godspeed returns, Barry turns to Hartley Rathaway for help. And DC's Legends of Tomorrow, called Ship Broken. Everyone is eager to use the Loom of Fate, but the team must decide who they want to bring back first, leaving Charlie to make a tough choice. And then, on Friday, a new episode of Harley Quinn. And that's everything this week, you guys. Yay! Of course,
Yeah.
what I'm really excited for that's coming up this week is we get our first look at the next generation of video game consoles. Ooh. On Thursday.
E3 is probably dead forever, right?
No, but did you see what Jeff Keighley's doing?
Yeah, I know. I'm saying they've even come up with a replacement now. I feel like they're
Oh,
just
yeah.
going to start doing this instead of E3.
Well, we'll have to see how
Or
it
No,
goes.
similar events.
Now they can make E4 better E.
Wow.
E4, 4 months of ease.
Oh.
Because it's a 4-month event. I
E3
think it all comes down to how well it works, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
we'll see.
I feel like it will end up working pretty well.
I think it comes down to how much is it just we're creating this branch for like everything to go, and how much of it saying Jeff Keighley's like you saw it said like what if it's like we got their first look at the new Batman game on let's say this weekend, probably not happening, or this week.
We're
We got a
never
first
going to
look
see
at
the new
Batman
Batman
or
game.
whatever, right? And then Jeff Keighley says if you want more information, go to X event in June. And at X event in June, they're like, in July, we're releasing a mini demo for everyone to play
I
at
feel
home.
like that's not going to happen.
See, but that would be really cool. Like in the mini like June event or whatever, it's just like an hour of gameplay, and then they're like, you can play the gameplay that we just showed you.
Well, yeah, I think they're going to do stuff like that. But I don't think they're going. I don't think they're going to be constantly redirecting stuff.
Well, this is what's going to be interesting, right? Is in like E3s and stuff, like they historically do release demos, right? But they're only for people at E3, right?
Yeah, but now we're going to be getting demos at home, which is nice.
Which is awesome. Right? At least I'm
like
fingers crossed.
That's just
right?
a better way of doing it. Like that's how it should be done now that the internet's like a thing that like is like works.
Oh yeah, especially I think like it'd be so cool for them
if
to
this
like
ends up
show
working.
Like,
companies are going to see how well it works, and then they're just going to give up on it.
Because that's the thing that's so frustrating, right? Like for example, Nintendo had this big like Nindies presentation. I'm like, I couldn't tell you how cool it would have been to just immediately be like, ooh, this looked cool, this looked cool, this looked cool, this looked cool. Let me play a demo for him right now and see what I think of him. Right? And instead it's like, oh, that was fun.
I can't wait for the next Shovel Knight game.
Oh my
god.
I mean, you already got King of Cards. Did you finish it?
Yeah, I finished it. I mean,
still played it. And it's funny because I actually played a demo of it. It's the only live demo I've ever played of a game before it's released. And I played it in 2017. I forgot how long ago that was.
Like, it took so long to release King of Cards. I remember after Spectre of Torment was releasing, they're like, we know it's taking a while for Spectre of Torment to release, but that's because, don't worry, you're not going to have to wait multiple years between Spectre of Torment and King of Cards. And look how that turned out.
Well, what ended up happening is they ended up being creating they also had the Smash Bros DLC or whatever. If it wasn't Smash Bros, but the Shovel Knight version of Smash Bros. They also came out with that at the same time, right?
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so that's what I'm looking forward to. We also have Star Wars Day tomorrow.
Showdown.
Yay. Showdown, yeah. We have Star Wars Day tomorrow, which is
People
exciting.
say that Showdown isn't canon, which annoys me because it clearly is. The intro explains how it fits into canon. Don't tell me that's not canon. I played it. I know it's canon. I did the stupid horse minigame multiple times.
That's all I have to say for this week. I'm really excited for the Xbox reveal and whatever is going to happen with Summer Games Fest. And that's all I have to say this week. Thank you all so much for joining. We are on Apple Podcasts, we are on Google Play, we are on Podbean, and we are on SoundCloud.
Wait, we are on Apple now?
Not on Apple Podcasts. I lied. And we are on
what?
YouTube.
We
are not on Apple Podcasts.
I remember I said I would make a logo, and then I just...
Yeah. At some point we'll be on Apple Podcasts. It doesn't matter enough to me, though. Although I'm sure it matters to you guys. Anyway, that's all. So we will see you next week. Bye.
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 I love that your bye was just bye. Bye.